Okay, this is the CEO of Weisenbach Investments, and I've come here to review short-term futures. The first one we're going to look at today is cocoa futures. Okay, as you can see, the price has risen a great deal since last Monday. And what this chart is telling me is this is market profile here, and this is volume at price, and this is volume over a period of time here. So what we're looking at right now is volume has dried up with this rising price, so that means there's no buying pressure or selling pressure, but because nobody wants to trade this. So once it gets above the value area, there's no chance for it. It's pretty much a bearish signal right at the top of the value area. For example, across the value area here, it went down. So since assets are often highly correlated, this is going to move down when the stock market moves down, and other futures trades are going to move down. So for example, the stock market, let me show you. Here's Dow futures, has risen immensely. Let's look at the daily chart. Has risen immensely over this period of time here. So right now you see it's very high. It's right above its value area. So usually what the market does is it will go down just a little bit. It will go up a little bit. Usually won't go past its high, which right now is 13,245. But it will go down. So when this starts going down, you'll see the downwards trend, and the short-term volume didn't push it high enough. But as you can see, when the price will go down, volume will increase over a period of time, and when the market will not go down below the low, 52-week low. I don't think it'll go down that far. We just need a correction, hopefully bring us down to this level. 11,537 is pretty good with my strategies. Now I'm shorting the market, so I'm tactically positioning myself for a fall in the market. Also, right now I'm not a believer in long-term investing, so I'm just holding my assets, and right now I'm slowly cutting them. So back to cocoa futures. The daily is down quite a bit, but now assets don't always correlate, but they often will move in the same way the market's moving. So I think longer term they have a chance to go up a little bit and then they'll go back down, but shorter term they need to be knocked down. Look at this, for example. Just look at that. They need to be knocked down. So once they are knocked down, I would short into the trend, and hopefully it could get below its value area somewhere around here. Often stocks will go down right above their point of control, because this is really where all value is. Anything below here is undervalued. Anything above it could be considered overvalued. In this range, people will accept the price, but above here it's completely overvalued. So as you can see, when it hits above its value range, it'll plummet. So I think cocoa futures is going to go down. I would be careful about making this trade due to how markets move, but I think the price will go down. Oil futures here. I'm not a big fan of trading oil right now. I think it needs to go down. The price is too high. Trade the trend. Volume is drying up. This would be a very good short. I would watch it. I would expect this to go down. So next we're going to look at soybean futures. Soybean futures are driven down, and now they are in a downtrend. I would short them right where they are. Volume on the downside is going up, and as you can see, volume on the upside is starting to dry up. There's not too much. There's downwards volume, which I'm happy with, and as you can see, it's slowly increasing in the market profile. So I would be shorting soybean futures. They went up a little bit just because of the short-term downwards trend, but I would short this. Okay, next I'm going to look at corn futures. Corn futures have went up a lot. I think they're going to plummet short-term, but very short-term here for a week or so. But I would expect in the next month it could go up quite a bit. Okay, silver futures, they've been knocked down a lot, and then they started to tick up. Now they went above value area and they're starting to go down. So I would short this downward trend, but be careful because, for example, volume is decreasing, but if we can get some more volume into that, it could go down a little bit. But watch volume, it could dry up. This it could go up a little bit around that range. Once it gets to 31.70, even if it gets higher, 32, I would short it definitely. But there's not enough volatility in silver to make real big bucks right now. Because here's the high, short-term high, 32, and here's the low, 29. So there's not a lot of volatility in silver. I'm not a fan of trading extremely low volatility in the asset class. Okay, gold futures, I believe they're going to be knocked down because they've gone way too high this week. So as you can see, the trend is going down, but the volume's drying up, but that's a bad sign, so it could go up a little bit, but I would be shorting it here. So here it is. Here's the volume. Right now it's at 624, but this is only a hourly chart, so let's look at the 4-hour chart. Okay, here's a 4-hour chart. And as you can see, it's right at the point of control. It could go a little bit past the point of control. Well, I'm not a big fan of trading gold futures, but again, it could have some potential in it. Okay, but if you look here, it's gone pretty high. But I wouldn't short this just yet. Okay. Okay, my next one is going to be cotton futures. Okay, as you can see, they're going to be knocked down and they're right below the point of control. Let me change this up a little bit. There. So it's having pretty tight bars on the downwards of the market, and there's low selling volume. So I would not short this, but I would not buy this. It's pretty high. I would short this around here. You could buy into the trend, but I'm not a really big fan of this trade right there. It's down because it hit the value area. In short term, it's going to go down, but I wouldn't trade it. Okay, next, soybean meal. I would definitely short soybean meal. It's gone up much too far and it has high volume on the downside, so I would be shorting soybean meal. Okay, my last one is going to be coffee futures. And let's see, okay, here we go. Coffee futures have been driven down pretty far. They're coming off a short-term low and the trend is getting higher. Bearish thing is it's rising volume on a downwards price here, so that can be a worry, but it can't be knocked down too far. So buy it at 175, or if it starts going up, which it could. Okay, thank you for listening. I hope the information was helpful. Remember, this is the CEO of Weisenbach Investments. Our website is weisenbachinvestments.webs.com, and we provide financial newsletters. They're customizable. We cover short-term trading and investing, but not to mention mid-term trading. So we cover futures, options, stocks, and ETFs. And we customize strategies. Okay? Thank you. Bye.